So now we're going to look at the bones of our forearm. And so these two bones, this is the ulna, and this one here is the radius. They're easily distinguishable from each other because the ulna has this kind of scoop-like structure on it. Some people say it looks like an ice cream scoop. Some people say it looks like a wrench. But that is the ulna, where the radius kind of ends in this kind of knob-like structure there. So now let's take a look at the structures on this. And when I look at the ulna here first, I'm going to bring back the humerus to show how they correlate with each other. So on the ulna here, we have this structure here, and that is called the olecranon process. So let me go ahead and zoom in here. So this process right there is the olecranon process. This is a coronoid process. So if we look at the humerus again, this fossa here was called the olecranon fossa. This fossa here was called the coronoid fossa. And so that's where those structures go into each other. So the olecranon fossa here goes into the olecranon process, or the olecranon process goes into the olecranon fossa. The coronoid process goes into the coronoid fossa. The scoop part here is called the trochlear notch. So this part on the humerus is called the trochlea, and the trochlear notch goes into that. This little notch right here is called the radial notch because that's where the head of the radius will rest. So the head of the radius rests right there in the radial notch. Now at the other end of the ulna, we see it sticks out a little bit, and that little point there is called the styloid process of the ulna. So that's looking at the ulna there. Let's go ahead and move on to the radius. So I said already that the radius has this little knob-like structure, and that knob-like structure there is called the head of the radius. So that is the head of the radius. This right here, this little rough structure right there, that is called the radial tuberosity. So that is where our biceps brachii attaches to the radius. So that is the radial tuberosity. And then at the other end here, you're going to see another little pointy process there, and that is the styloid process of the radius. Lastly, let's go ahead and move on to the bones of our wrist and hand. So these bones that make up our wrist bones, those are the carpals. These bones that make up the middle of our hand, essentially the palms of our hand there, those are the metacarpals. And then these three bones here on each of these fingers, and we only have two on our thumbs, those are the phalanges of the hand. So 3 on each finger except for the thumb. So once again, these are the phalanges of the hand. So carpals, metacarpals, phalanges of the hand.